Hey guys, Nick at London Honda in London, Ontario, Canada. I have behind me our first 2017 Civic Si. I'm gonna give you guys a look. Just gonna do a bit of a walk around on the car here so you can have a good look. This is the first one that landed at our dealership about a week ago. So just immediately you can see this one does have unique rims. Okay, these are the 18-inch, unique to the Civic Si. So you have the black and the machined finish on these. The little SI badge right there. There isn't really too much to set this car apart from the other Civic models aesthetically on the outside anyway at first glance. You do have the spoiler. Now this is the SI spoiler, so this is bigger than the spoiler that would come on like an EXT. The EXT has the little lip spoiler just under here, but this one actually is quite a bit bigger. You do have the center mounted exhaust, so that's something to look for. Okay, the hatchbacks, like the regular, the hatchbacks in the sport trim level do have a center mounted exhaust, but it's the dual outlets. This is just a single outlet. It's kind of a wide design. I like it. It's pretty eye-catching. There's definitely a lot more of a difference on the interior of the vehicle. So these seats, just gonna shut off this chiming here. These seats are unique to the Si. So they are a cloth seat. Okay, lots of bolstering. Like if you want a comfortable seat, these seats, when you think sporty racing seats, you don't think comfort, but these seats actually, I find them more comfortable than the standard Civic seats, even in the touring. So like the full leather in the regular Civic, I find these more comfortable. So stepping inside, the one thing that will jump out at you is the shifter here. So this is a short throw shifter, okay, and it has its own unique shift handle here, different from your regular Civics, okay. As well as the gauges. So everything is a red color. So if I start the vehicle, everything is red. In the standard Civic, it is not, okay. A couple of different things here. There is a sport mode, so this is pretty cool because this car actually has adaptive suspension. So when you hit the sport mode button, your gauges just at the top there will turn red. But what it actually does is it adjusts the dampening of the shock absorbers around the vehicle. So you will notice definitely a difference in the ride. Okay, so you're gonna feel more of the road. Definitely the steering response is sharper, so with the electric steering, when you hit the sport button, it tightens it up. It's not just a gimmick. A lot of the cars will have a sport mode, but all it does is it's basically electronically mapping the throttle differently. So yeah, it's a little bit jumpier off the line, but it doesn't fundamentally change the way the car handles. This does. Okay, and you will feel that. You get the Qi wireless charging. Okay, which is neat. So you'll notice the way they put this car together, you get things like the navigation, you get the wireless charger, but the seats are cloth. Okay, so they give you most of the stuff that I think most people would want feature-wise. It does have a sunroof as well. Okay, so it gives you most of the features you want while still focusing on performance. Okay, so you get your automatic climate control, which is dual zone, heated seats of course, but the addition of the navigation is really nice. Now these only come one way, so there isn't different trim packages for the Si. They come one way, so this is basically what you will get in Canada anyway, if you're looking at a Civic Si. Okay, so it does have the cruise control here. Now you'll notice there's no Honda sensing, so the lane departure alert, okay, and the lane keep assist, the radar adaptive cruise control, you're not going to have any of that. One reason is because obviously with a manual transmission, you don't have the adaptive cruise control. In order to have the adaptive cruise, it needs to be able to shift gears, okay, and it can't do that obviously if you're the one in control. Okay. Over here, you've got some Bluetooth options here. Now this is really cool. So because it's an SI, you've got some different options here in your gauge cluster. Okay, so you've got, start from the left, okay. Okay, so you've got kind of a boost gauge on the left, and you've got your throttle on, or sorry, boost gauge on the right and your throttle on the left. So it will show, I'm just gonna close the door. So it will show you how open your throttle is, and then on the right, how many PSI your turbo is pushing into your engine. So how much pressurized air and at what pressure. Okay, here's your turbo gauge. So this will show you basically the same thing as the other menu, but with a focus on your turbo pressure. This is really cool. So this is a shift light. So when you approach your red line, which in this vehicle is 6,500 RPM, as you approach that, it will go from green to yellow to red. So it will tell you when to shift, which is really neat. If you keep your eyes on the road, you can kind of see it out of your peripheral. It's pretty cool. What else have we got here? So this is cool. This is a G-force meter. So when you're braking, accelerating, cornering, it'll show you how many G-forces you are, how much G you are generating, which is pretty cool. Lap timer. So this is neat. A stopwatch here for your laps. And then you get into your standard, okay, your fuel mileage there. Your navigation is cool. So right now it's just the compass and it tells you what street you're on. But if you have a destination set, it will actually show you turn-by-turn directions right up in this display here, which is really cool. Of course, your maintenance minder system, whatever's on the radio, your Bluetooth, and then you can switch from your miles per hour to kilometers, and then any information the vehicle's telling you. So we have low washer fluid right now. The vehicle's brand new and hasn't been filled, so they pretty much come off the truck and they all say that. It does have lane watch as well, so when you put on your right turn signal, it will show you what is in the right side mirror, or what's on the right side of your car. So there's a camera in the right side mirror, right out there. Okay, so if you're waiting to turn right at an intersection, you can see if there's somebody coming along on a bicycle. We can see that Honda Civic right there driving by. Now you can turn it on at any time. If you don't want to use your blinker, you can just press this little lane watch button here on the end of the indicator stick, and it will come on and off. You can toggle it on or off, okay? So that's pretty well the interior of the vehicle. So it also does have your brake hold. This is nice. You can enable this and it will hold the vehicle in place on a hill. So especially for driving manual transmission, if you're in first gear, you take your foot off the clutch, or you take your foot off the brake, the vehicle will start to roll back, but this will prevent that. Electronic parking brake, so you press it down to disengage and pull up to engage it. Now this vehicle is a really, really nice manual transmission vehicle to learn to drive on, and just to drive if you're an experienced driving manual transmission. The reason I say that is the clutch is light. It's definitely very easy to press in, but it's very responsive too. It has a lot of good feel. Some of the clutches out there, especially in sport vehicles, are very heavy. German cars and things like that, very heavy clutch, but it's very easy to drive. It's not going to fatigue you very much, and it has really, really good feel. It's got about a halfway up engagement point, right about there, and it's really so easy to learn to drive on these. Yeah, these short throws are very nice. So if you like driving spiritedly, it's very short. Okay. So let's go check out the outside of the vehicle. So the SI does have the same 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that the standard Civics have, but this one has roughly 25 more horsepower, so 205 horsepower, and they achieve that by using a different tuning basically. So this runs on premium fuel, where the other Honda Civic turbos run on regular, unless you're in a sport hatchback with it, which also kind of does the same thing. So the sport hatch does give you some more power, and it does that by way of tuning. So this is just a more extreme version of that. all the Civic SIs are only available in a 6-speed manual transmission, so you will not find an automatic transmission with this vehicle as of yet. But it does come in 2 variations, so you can get the 4-door and the 2-door, which is very cool. Now the back seat in these is actually quite large. The Civics used to have a pretty small back seat, but if I'm sitting back here, I'm about 6'1", and I'm sitting behind myself, and I still have about 2.5, 3 inches, okay, between myself and the seat ahead of me. I could comfortably sit back here on a longer drive, no problem. The older Civics, definitely, if you're looking at like a 2006 to 2011, they definitely had a smaller back seat. So definitely much improved as far as passenger space. Very aggressive front fascia with your fog lights down below and your blacked out grille. So this is all blacked out with a piano black color. Very cool. These cars are very popular, and there's a reason for that. You get tremendous performance, but you're not sacrificing practicality. You know what I mean? So it gets good gas mileage. It's just as comfortable as any other Civic. It's just as spacious as any other Civic, but it's really engaging and fun to drive. So if you're looking for a vehicle that's really truly fun to drive, but you don't want to sacrifice practicality, this is the car.